On our way back to Melbourne, we're stopping off in Burra. We've got an old mate, Brodie, and he's going to show us around the town.
In 1851, Burra was Australia's first surveyed mining town and the largest inland town in the country. Burra is one of Australia's most significant historic towns, with a collection of historic buildings providing an excellent insight into the methods and lifestyles of a 19th century mining community. The South Australian Mining Association commenced mining operations in 1845. By 1850, Burra was home to the largest mine in Australia and produced 5% of the world's copper. Production declined after 1860 and it fully stopped in 1867. And from 1870, that's when the mine became open cut and they used the open cut method.
So that's sort of what we see here behind us here?
That is open cut.
Open cut. So this is one of the buildings that is one of the Cornish pump houses?
Yes, there are three. This is the only one that's been renovated. As you can see, that one has not been.
Right there.
And then there was one way over there in the distance that they never even used. The mine behind me here is 34 metres deep from water level.
Wow.
So, you know, that's
pretty deep.
That's deep. It looks kind of green, but that's not because it's gross and disgusting. That's just because there's still a bit of copper left at the bottom of it, but not enough that was worth draining it for.
I reckon we'll go for a swim later and we'll dig a little bit of copper out, you reckon?
Go scrap it.
It's interesting you say that because there's a little known fact about Burra, but we actually train deep sea divers in there.
Inland deep sea diving, I like it. I like it.
We have a diving school in the north of Burra.
Yep.
And it's really deep and it's clear and it's perfect conditions for diving in.
They can collect a little bit of scrap as they go.
They can. It's a bonus. Redruth Jail, built in 1856, was the first jail in South Australia to be erected outside of Adelaide. It held accommodation for the turnkey, the jail keeper, 30 prisoners up until its closure in 1894. The jail held both male and female prisoners, with the men on the left and the women on the right, and this is actually the male side that we're on right now. It was renovated and reopened as a girls' reformatory in 1897, before finally closing in 1922.
I like what they did putting all the glass bottles up there. It's a nice touch.
It is, and they've also blocked off the corner so you couldn't climb up the walls.
That's
and if you did, there'd be a nasty
sneaky.
surprise anyway.
I read somewhere that this jail was featured in a pretty famous film.
Yes, the 1980 film Breaker Morant was filmed here. The jail plays a pretty important role in the film. The gates to the jail are blown off in the film, but obviously they couldn't actually blow up the heavily
Blow the real ones
gates.
off? No.
So they built entirely new ones in front of them, and they blew them up, and the whole town gathered around that day. It was a big event for Burra.
Blowing the gates off the jail.
Yeah.
That's good.
The Unicorn Brewery was built in 1873 on the site of an older brewery and served the town's 9 hotels. The original complex included a tall malting tower, offices, a workshop, and steam engines and a boiler to operate the pumps. The cellars were once a lot bigger, and there are still tunnels going under people's houses today, but they've since been restricted for safety reasons. To be honest, I find the cellars to be quite an eerie place, and evidently I'm not alone, as Wolf Creek 2, starring John Jarratt, was filmed here a few years ago.
Hey!
So, if you're freaked out by this place, go watch Wolf Creek 2 and all your nightmares of corpses lurking in the shadows can be brought to life.
We've got a pretty big corpse right here.
I would have loved to have come down here back in the day, not to scare people that much, but because it's just really cool down here. Speaking of cool, guys, I reckon it's beer o'clock.
Let's go have a couple
Yeah,
of
we're on.
Let's go.
To Brodie and to Burra.
Good boys.
You're going to have to come down and visit us in Melbourne more often.
Oh, well, you can come and visit me in Burra too.
Mate, the tracks, we'll take you out on some of the tracks in Melbourne. They're pretty awesome, but not as good as what we've experienced the past couple of days.
We've got some pretty good tracks down here too.
For this week's recipe and any information on our show, visit our website at 4x4aussiemates.com, subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at 4x4 Aussie Mates.